Go ahead and roll it.
Okay.
6.
Sex? Yeah, I want that. I want that chess piece.
Which?
Whoa, 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 whoa. God, that Titan set is sexy.
Or their favorite.
Oh, no way. There is no way. So sexy. Everywhere I look, it's hot. No, what the fuck?
Renegades
Whoa.
is the new
Okay, that's pretty funny. Tell me you don't want that on your hunter. Yikes. Show me gambling. Okay, well, I no longer feel seen. Whoa, hold up. And we're going to gamble. Oh, what?
Oh, perfect.
That's super
All right,
sick.
oh.
I am scared, you know? Good evening, gamers. So, it is 2:44 p.m., not quite evening, on November 25th, when the Vidoc came out. I have not seen it, and I wanted to take this opportunity of not having seen it to give my thoughts before going into the reveal here, and then, you know, of course, talk about it, give the typical React content. But as somebody who still loves Destiny, you know, I was just on it last night, playing a bunch of Behemoth Titan, if you could believe it. But, you know, I always enjoy the game, but after my review of Edge of Fate, I was confident they were going to, you know, really turn things around. It's like, yeah, you know, they were the portal, but, you know, they can really, they said they're going to update things. And so we've been waiting for that, and they have updated some things, but it's still been really, really rough. So I want to see where they are going to take things from here. We're just going to watch this together. I'm going to give my thoughts, and yeah, we can have a little discussion at the end as well. So, crack open an age-appropriate cold one with me. Let's get this started. Might be a little loud. Nah, I'll keep it there.
You are supposed to protect the people, not rule them. The time of guardians as shepherds of humanity is over.
No!
I've been waiting so long for this. Dredge and hope.
They've shown me a vision I can't shake. New Cabal, the Barrent Imperium, sprung up out of nowhere across the system. That doesn't just happen. It's the Nine.
Okay.
And I'm putting together a crew to prove it. What do you say, weapon?
Okay, so this is...
Welcome to the new Mars.
You know... Is the Traveler really gonna die this time? Probably not. Until we can find a way to get... Well, I guess Prismatic kind of answers the light sort of coming from within, so... Okay, you know, I want the Traveler to die. I want something big to happen in Destiny, but nothing big really seems to happen. It's always like, well, you know, everything's unaffected in the normal areas that we're used to seeing. You know, we save the day, so that's all good. And, oh, over here, there's some trouble. So, you know, it's like every threat that gets brought home has always been, especially recently, very... You know, they just pull their punches, right? Like the Vex invasion. Oh, yeah, that's over. No, there's no, like, destruction. There's no, you know, fallout, really. There's no aftermath. You know, you don't even see anybody when you're in the tower and defending it and everything. So it's like, it just feels pretty lame. So, you know, if that's not just, like, Drifter's vision and we see the Traveler destroyed, that'd kind of be awesome.
Now the only law in Tharsis is the gun on your hip and the light in your hands. You'll do well here. I don't
I'm
relish
interested in
doing
the vehicle
business with these
combat.
mages,
Let's see what they do.
but we need to find out what the Dredgen are after.
That design is pretty cool, of that Dredgen Sith. That's pretty sick.
You crave justice. Why die for a criminal?
Why do you hate your own kind so much?
Interesting. Yeah.
It's time
Wow.
to take the fight to the Imperium.
Ooh, okay, scope. Ooh. Yeah, I want that. I want that chess piece. Interesting. So we get our own
Finish it.
skips.
The Imperium is yours to lead.
Whatever they're called.
You will fall. But next time, we meet.
Only one play left.
Wait. Who's that? Hold on. What was he pointing at? Yeah, what was he pointing
Only
at?
one play left.
Who is that? That looks like a Titan, like the Guardian games. I don't know if it was Guardian games or if it was Solstice, but that looks like the this Titan helmet that I use, or at least sometimes use. So where is that? Where's that one Titan helmet? Am I missing it? Ah, yeah. It looks like this. It looks like this one. See what I'm talking about? See? Yeah, it's like, that is it. So, is he just gonna start turning on Guardians for some reason? Or is there a Guardian Rebellion? That'll be interesting. Okay. So, thematically, I'm really digging it. And just from that trailer, from what we've seen... Hey, what up, DFG?
Right.
Love this guy. But from what I've seen just from that trailer, it does seem to be like they are really, really doubling down on this is not Star Wars, this is Destiny, very much inspired by Star Wars. And I think that distinction is really good for them to get out of the way, you know, and make that apparent right away, because that's like one of the biggest concerns people have. It's like, I don't want to play Star Wars, I want to play Destiny. And so this seems like a really good way to tie it in. I like how they, you know, we have the parallels to the Sith. We have Dredgens, you know, the evil Guardians, more or less. So, you know, that's pretty interesting. I really want to see more. Let's see.
Hey everybody, welcome to Bungie, or our Cantina today. We have converted our stream room in celebration of our upcoming release, Destiny 2 Renegades, collaborative effort with Lucasfilm Games. We are so excited. My name is Dylan. I'm going to be your host today, and we have a lot to go through. Have a few housekeeping notes before we dive in. Ultimately, if you are on Twitch, if you watch for 15 minutes, we have a fantastic emblem for you to earn, Seekers, Not Saints. Make sure your Bungie.net account is linked, and you will earn this reward.
Do not care about emblems. I'm sorry.
Additionally, our community team, hey community team, love you. They're going to be going through chat throughout this stream and after we raid Leopard Stealth, one of our good friends.
Banning anybody who claims to have garden clears.
Year of Prophecy digital editions to be handing out. So make sure your DMs are open. Keep an eye out for a DM from Bungie, and yeah, you might get yourself a code for a platinum.
That's probably a good feeling though.
So,
if you just
what are we
get a
talking about
DM in the middle of the stream, that just sounds so
launch
fun.
Trailer. Destiny 2 Renegades is launching in 7 days. Countdown right now. 7 days from now, you're going to be in there playing.
That's kind of crazy to think about.
We got the Praxic Blade.
I will be streaming.
We have a new Vidoc that actually we are sharing today. And
Yeah,
this is going to
I
be
wanna see
called
that.
Making of a Renegade. So
That's-
after we watch our Vidoc, we have a panel of developers on the couch. We're going to be talking about the Lawless Frontier, our new activity that is coming with this experience, full of loot, full of fun experiences, and all that kind of stuff. So without further ado, let's watch a new Vidoc, Vidoc 2, Making of a Renegade. Take it away.
So, you know, it seems the Renegade stuff looks cool so far, and I just want to see why I care, you know? Like, sure, it'll be fun to play through once or twice, I'm sure, but I want to see systems changing. I want to see upgrades to that. So, anything we get, I'm sure it's going to look good. You know, they always go crazy with their trailers and everything. They're fantastic and always have been. But I want to see changes. So I want to stop pausing every 5 seconds, but I want to preface, like, you know, what I'm looking for and the perspective I'm coming from. So let's see it.
this is Destiny with the Star Wars lens, like this really cool combination that hasn't been done before.
I can't wait to take a Praxic Blade to Mars.
Don't be a ridiculous fan.
Praxic
Stay
Blade.
cool.
Wait, we gotta swat it up and play through. Oh, yeah.
This is why we got into games in the first place. Early on, we developed this North Star, authentically Destiny, unmistakably Star Wars. It has to be something that feels like a Destiny story. It can't feel like a one-off. This can't feel like a side quest, right? Like this has to be
liking
a continuation of the Fate Saga.
Otherwise, notice Europa.
I got this vision.
I'm sure it's somewhere else.
I knew it came from the Nine.
But
Nine on
with
the field.
Star Wars beats
That'd be a
and
fight.
Star Wars visual.
Yeah, these new Cabal look cool.
This was uncharted
I am a little
territory for
biased.
Lucasfilm Games, and that this is the first time we're telling a
But I
story
love Cabal.
inspired by Star Wars
Yeah.
within a different.
Okay, that's wow. Okay, these environments
Of, like, I
are
think every Guardian's identity.
these environments are striking. Edge of Fate had interesting effects. It had really interesting concepts. I liked the story, and what we saw was interesting and striking. But Kitty? My cat has a lot to say about the environments, but in Edge of Fate, it was just, it was nice, but it felt mostly one note. And so this is very varied, and so I'm really excited for that.
It's like this healthy, independent, rebellious streak.
We were excited to actually explore that scoundrel fantasy, bounty hunters, the syndicates going out and doing jobs with a ragtag team.
I'm sure
We took
your choices
inspiration
don't
from
really
Star Wars to
matter,
ensure
but
the
that'd be
scale,
fun.
visual language, soundtrack, and cinematic storytelling in Renegades delivered on everything fans.
It does
will have
seem
come to
very
expect from
cinematic so
this.
far, which, I mean, makes
The
sense for
Praxic
Star
Blade
Wars.
collaboration.
God, that
stands
must
out
have
to
been
me.
so fun to be those
Because
guys. Just
lightsabers are so iconic.
Oh, man.
It was absolutely critical to get that balance right.
The team at Lucasfilm Games was just so solutions focused. It wasn't, it has to be this way. It was a lot of back and forth and asking questions about how would this work? Well, let's talk about it. All right, oh, so we need a different energy source. Okay, what would that look like?
It was all about like what is best for the player.
When we announced this collaboration with the studio, James may or may not have been wearing a fighter pilot helmet.
Yeah. Destiny and Star Wars shared that same beating heart. I was like, oh, this is gonna be special.
tell me we can gamble. Tell me.
We were
Show me
given
gambling.
Such a unique challenge.
Real money.
How can we achieve the aesthetic and the feel of Star Wars without losing the narrative threads that we've created so far for Destiny at the same time?
It wasn't until we found our footing with creating a foundation in Destiny that things started to click together.
I remember the first time that we went down to San Francisco. We had this really big meeting where it was the Destiny narrative folks on one side and the Star Wars narrative folks on the other side. We broke the ice by just asking, what's the bad version of this? We had a really good laugh over what that looked like. And through that, we kind of uncovered that this should be the aesthetic, the vibe of Star Wars. With
I love her
the
as
truth
the
to Destiny's narrative
story,
that we knew needed to be there
like
too.
the face of the story team, you know. Obviously she doesn't do all the work. She does a lot alongside a lot of other amazing
We begin
talent,
2
and
months
it's
after
really
the Edge of
cool.
Fate has happened.
I
The world
like
has moved
her
and changed, and we're still trying to
charisma
figure
on
out
camera.
what
I think
binding the
she's
line is.
great for
The
it.
Vanguard
so
have
this is awesome.
redacted the prophecy of extinction.
They don't want the public to panic over this prophecy.
Interesting.
The crux of our story is the Drifter asking us to help him break Vanguard law for good reason to confront a new rising faction of Cabal called the Barren Imperium. It's what drives Eris to help the Drifter out as well as the player Guardian.
When we were thinking about what kinds of characters should be,
I will say, I've noticed a few times over Destiny's story history that, you know, the development team, it is very, the Destiny team, what's the way to put this? In a very endearing way, they are extremely woke. You know, I love that. That's great. We need more of that. And if you disagree, shut up, leave. But I'm wondering if there's ever going to be a moment where we clash with everybody loves Zavala, he's a fan favorite, and he's government, you know? Like, it's like, ooh, he's evil because he's government, but he's Zavala, we love him. So I'm wondering how that might manifest here, where they're going to take Zavala and his role. And are they going to bring back Keith David? If so, that'd be interesting. I think he did a good job. So I want to see if we get anything from Zavala. We may not, which would be a little strange, right? To have a, expansion, basically 2 expansions without Zavala at all. Let's see.
In this release, we thought about the kinds of archetypes we see throughout Star Wars.
Yeah, and Griffer is an easy parallel. He and Han Solo share a cocky attitude, both former criminals.
In Star Wars, there's a...
They did not. They did...
Share a cocky attitude, both former criminals.
No, hold on. We gotta go back a little more.
Release, we thought about the kinds of archetypes we see throughout Star Wars.
Yeah, and Griffer is an easy parallel. He and...
Bro... Okay. Okay, that's pretty funny. That's pretty funny. I'm sure they were just like, we have to. We can't not.
In Star Wars, there's
so
a plethora of sassy droids. We have our own version of that through Ghosts, and Blue is no exception.
Oh, look. Thanks for nothing.
Blue is a Drifter's ghost, and I think as soon as people hear her, they'll be delighted and incredibly surprised.
Our voice cast is stacked. Dredgen Bale is portrayed by Alex Lee, who is amazing.
Yeah.
We're supposed to protect the people, not rule them.
And we also got Hollywood actual royalty Danny Houston to play Premier Loom, the head of the Barrent Imperium. Being able to work with someone from that kind of IMDb page was such an honor, and I was completely normal the whole time.
Surrender to the Barrent Imperium.
Loom became this sweeping militaristic figure that I think is going to be a really good parallel to Grand Moff Tarkin or other evil military leaders from the Empire.
We'll have to see this.
So even though we're
I feel like that
new
could be just a
characters, we're still
throwaway
looking
villain.
backwards at
We'll
some
see.
of Destiny lore's most long-standing characters. Honor is another example of that. She's our plastic
interesting.
warlock.
She's loosely meant to be a parallel to something like a Jedi in Star Wars.
Yeah.
She was part of a Vanguard internal affairs group that would police Guardians on the usage of darkness.
Don't make me regret abandoning
Secret
my
Service
post to help
Guardian?
you.
Not now, Honor.
Yeah, she has to grow up with the times a little bit because the world has changed and a whole lot of people are using darkness now. And she gets to grow and kind of ask herself, like, am I still adhering to my own values if I allow myself to be open to these kinds of ideas?
The Drifter belongs with us.
The Drifter left your cult long ago.
And then there's Bale, Dredgen Bale.
Dredgen is a dark guardian that represents absolute darkness.
Dredgen Bale
That's
doesn't
cool.
like the fact that we're ruled by a city of immortals who can't step down and that weren't elected. He's got kind of a point, but his methods for addressing that point suck.
I'm saying.
He makes many bad choices.
I said that. I said that.
One of my favorite parts about a lot of villains in Star Wars is that they have just like the capability of making a right choice and then consistently do not make good choices.
Bale is trying to fill a hole in his life in all the wrong ways.
And he just can't.
I
never
like
will.
that
But man, we're
character
gonna hope that he
design
does someday.
a
The time
lot.
of guardians as shepherds of humanity is over.
If that's not okay, so here's the thing. Here's one really important thing that I really want them to do. In the same way that we get, strike specific loot, right? Like you go into a strike, I should say, in the way we want, we don't get strike specific loot. You go into Sunless Cell and you get this cool taken weapon, that to match the theme, and it's a rare drop. We need that for really well designed characters. So for example, that Dredgen Bale or whatever, I think that's the name. Yeah, like look at that mask. Tell me you don't want that on your hunter, And I think it should not be purchase the bundle to look like this guy, or I don't want it to be just like a participation trophy. I think it would be really cool to have some kind of story replay system where you could really crank the difficulty, and hey, we already have a structure for that through the portal, so that's a way that the portal can be used for good. But, you know, make it extremely hard and make it solo, and you can only use a lightsaber for the mission or something like that, right? Like, that would be really, really cool. And I want that to be the case. It would be really cool if we had these awesome designs and it's like, yeah, you can get that, but only if you're really good or you do this really tough challenge. Like, we need a lot more of that in Destiny. So these are awesome designs, but I want them to be used within the systems and the gameplay to, you know, really make me want to pick up my hunter. Like, wouldn't that be awesome to have a hunter exclusive mission that's extra hard? And obviously, you know, you would have one for Titan and Warlock too, but like, how sick would that be? Like, maybe it could be rotating every day or every week. There's a new challenge and you get a new ornament for the, you know, whatever slot it is, and you can, once you have it all, maybe make it weekly or whatever, you know, bi-weekly. That way you have people reasons to, you know, give people reasons to keep coming back. And so I don't know, I just love these designs, but I feel like so many cool designs in Destiny are thrown into Eververse, or they are thrown at the players for free, basically. And I don't like that. I want to earn cosmetics, and there aren't many cosmetics to earn in Destiny. Like, really, think about it. There really aren't many. You have, like, flawless raid shaders, and you have, you know, there are some ornaments and whatnot. You know, there's, of course, tier 5s, the shinies, but you really don't have much in the way of, like, yeah, I soloed this super hard thing. Like, yeah, we do have the emblems and, you know, solo flawless dungeons, but unless this dungeon ramps up the difficulty to a ridiculous degree, soloing a dungeon isn't very hard anymore because we've gotten so ridiculously broken. And with designs like Sunder Doctrine, where it really isn't that hard. Like, once you understand it really well, the mechanics, you can take 70 phases, you know? It doesn't, it feels like it's an endurance test more than anything. And it's like, that's fine, but it doesn't feel hard when I can just, oh, well, I entirely missed my damage phase. No worries, I'll just continue with my really safe build that I just am basically an unkillable god on. And by that I mean just press Skullfort buttons. Like, you can just throw punches around the map, you're completely invincible standing right next to the boss. It's like, I don't know. I want there to be more challenges, and I want there to be really cool ways, really cool trophies that players can get that aren't emblems. Like, I'm so tired of emblems. I like them, and I think they need to continue in the way they are, but they cannot be the only, like, the biggest carrot on a stick is an emblem. Like, yes, the contest stuff, love that. I love that they have emblems for it. We need more cool, interesting stuff like this. Other MMOs have this. Final Fantasy has that. WoW has that. And, you know, there's just a lot of stuff like, hey, be really, really good at the game. Hey, this is unobtainable for most people. That's why it's cool. If you see somebody running around with it, you're like, oh my god, that guy's so good. But in Destiny, I never feel like that. I see somebody, you know, with an emblem that's like, the only time is the first Desert Perpetual contest. That is the only one. And even then, there were changes. It's like, there's really nothing that separates my character from your character in terms of, like, look, based on achievement, right? And that, I think these amazing designs would be great to implement as carrots on the stick, you know? Or even just part of it, like, give them only the mask, so, you know, it doesn't erase the identity of the, you know, the actual character in the story. So, like, I don't know. There's a lot of things they could do. I just want to see reasons to play the game rather than, this is awesome. And it is, but I want it to be awesome longer term if they're wanting to really stick with a live service. So, let's see.
This has been an opportunity where you love Destiny, you love Star Wars, you want to do something with both. What are you going to put into it?
Oh my god, it was such a challenge at first. Finding that sweet spot of how do we make something that can live in both worlds and not feel out of place in either, but also feel totally new and exciting.
That
it
is a
wasn't always
cool
about where do
location.
we find
I
the
know that's
exact
hard, but-
middle ground, 50-50 Star Wars and Destiny, because at that point, you're feeling almost a little derivative.
There's those moments along the way when we were like, this is just
if we
Star
see the
Wars.
trash
this is not
compactor-
the purpose of the collaboration. We want to have something kind of new that makes you think of both. I remember when we were trying to figure out what we're going to do.
I think they're
with
doing a good
our
job
new,
from what I could tell.
Cabal.
We started in that place where it's just Cabal wearing a stormtrooper outfit.
Yeah.
But it wasn't until we injected more of that weird alien design of a lot of these armor sets.
Yes,
That
this
was
looks
kind of
good.
what
I
switched
like
it
this
over
a
from
lot.
This is too derivative to this is really working.
you know,
I think it
I-
comes through in the visuals and every single map.
I
There are
am
little Easter
completely
eggs and
agreeing
little
with what they're
treats here
saying
and
here.
there that
This
we
looks
fit around,
fantastic.
and Lucasfilm Games has been awesome at collaborating with us and even putting some of their input onto our maps so we can really give the players something exciting.
Yeah, this is
The switch flipped
visually
in my head like, oh,
one of the better
we would
looking
never have done this without
expansions.
this
from what I
collaboration
can see.
was
I
the
don't know.
syndicates.
Yeah.
I'm really excited
We're
for
going
the
places
settings.
with the Vex and the Elixni and the Cabal that we really weren't going to go before.
Oh, yeah.
Whoa!
And Trenchcoat.
Hold up. So I know we're working with the Vex. There's like a rogue network or something like that. I'm not sure. But oh no! I think they like broke free of their program. I'm sure. I think Bungie mentioned it. But anyways, what is this?
And
Whoa! What house is this? I mean, it makes sense. You know, we're gonna run into them in the Outlands, whatever you want to call it, Lawless Frontier. So, wow, this is cool. That's such a cool design.
Elixni and the Cabal that we really weren't going to go before.
Oh, yeah. And trench coats.
And trench coats. Yeah, we have Vex and trench coats that are playing cards. It's so
And we're
awesome,
going
and
to
I don't think we
gamble.
would have dared do that if we didn't have this opportunity.
No, and it was the perfect time in our universe to do it, too. The Star Wars fans on the team just start coming out, telling their stories about what they're excited to build, and far be it from me to get in the way.
We make a lot of weapons in Destiny. How do you take a weapon
Ooh,
in
what
Destiny,
is that
which we have
shield?
literal like 4 digits of guns, and
Understatement.
right,
Yeah.
and make something that feels new but also does justice for Star Wars? And Blaster was really obviously the choice. They're roughly in 2
So-
groups. There's dynamic blasters, which are intended to be harder hitting, firing a ton.
That
Brute
looks
force.
cool. It just seems obvious that these are primary weapons, and so outside of low difficulty, I want to see where they end up sticking in the sandbox. They seem cool though, at the very least.
And then we have a number of balance blasters.
Now these I'm interested
As
in.
you're shooting, and the heat is building up, you're going to have a venting opportunity where you can hit a perfect vent. It's like functionally a reload, so you can start shooting again much faster.
Interesting, a perfect reload, okay. I like the new
I gotta
Fallen.
ask, though, what about those Cabal blasters?
True.
Are they accurate?
What difficulty are you playing on?
That's really funny. I'm sure there will be a gag somewhere where a Cabal guy just cannot land a
We
shot.
have swords in Destiny, but we don't have a Praxic sword. We don't have
We
a
do not.
lightsaber proximate. It's an exotic primary weapon that's kinetic, where you can reflect a bunch of blasts,
That looks cool.
kill enemies with it, and throw it out and get a ton of damage.
Is this a heavy or a special?
Having the sandbox be able to explore this new like ability ecosystem with renegade abilities.
So yeah, I want to see what this is because I feel like these are
Taken
destination
so much
abilities.
of this opportunity and turned it into what we can like grow.
This looks like an
Every corner of the
evolution
game,
of
from the art, the design, the audio, the music,
the
UI, the rewards, completely infused with the magic of the collaboration. It's really been a real treat to be a
I
part
want to
of.
see what these
Yeah,
abilities
super
are like.
satisfying.
I want to get more into that because I want more permanent abilities, but it's just so hard to balance. So I want to see what they do. Oh.
Good morning,
So
everybody. Didn't mean to wake you up with that beat, sorry. The overarching theme for this was to create a score for this release that felt like it was cohesive as a whole.
I will say, Destiny music and Star Wars music together? That's kind of crazy. Let's see it.
We're all talking to each other and collaborating with each other.
The Destiny choir.
We were able to explore
So
different ways
iconic.
of orchestrating, different ways of writing with the orchestra that expand on the Destiny palette and make it fresh and new. When I look at the Star Wars scores, there were certain elements that naturally fit string flourishes or wood flourishes that would play into a certain moment. When it's like, oh, I know I want something to feel more Williams, so I'll push it. Not this Williams, but
Yeah.
John Williams. I'll push it more in that world.
Another thing too is the amount of percussion. I had some ideas that felt more full-on Star Wars, and once you like flesh out the percussion arrangement, it instantly sounds more Destiny as a result.
Yes, yes.
For me, a lot of it was about
That's a big thing I've noticed with Destiny music is the way they use percussion is really, really, really interesting. I don't need to get into talking about the music theory right now. We have a lot to get through, so let's keep going.
framing where when I use a lot of the Destiny themes, how I set them up and how I'm transitioning in and out of moments are much more Star Warsy in terms of the harmony and orchestration.
I think the most exciting part about this was the opportunity to work with these guys and Mike.
You definitely made it a point to kind of bring us together and listen to each other's music.
But Brendan, you wrote something with the most beautiful oboe solo in it, and it drives me nuts that I didn't think of it first.
Ooh, I want to hear an oboe solo.
Brendan is what it came down to.
That okay,
Brendan's
that's
seemed
huge
to
actually.
Sound amazing
Oh.
from the start.
That just sounds awesome. I want to hear one right now.
I remember knowing your first high action cue.
Oh, I'm so ready. 1 week away.
Everyone was
Oh
like,
my
"Whoa."
gosh.
Because it's really fast, really
Yeah.
intense.
Ooh.
Josh kept on like spinning around and looking at you.
Humans have to play this.
Wow.
Destiny has like so many themes, and that's like a great vehicle for doing the Star Wars spin.
This is
Our
awesome.
first meeting was discussing that main theme, and I remember hearing it for the first time.
I want to hear it.
And everybody kind of perked up
Oh, yeah.
when we all heard it. We're all having ideas that were just a little bit different from one another. That was all sort of impacted what the final version of the theme was.
So cool. I really like watching the behind the scenes for the
Dredge and
music.
Bale.
This is so
That
cool.
kind of teed off the main theme, and the fact that we were
Yeah.
exploring the idea of this kind of anti-Guardian character set in this story of scoundrels. We wanted something that would be a backbone to tell a longer arc story. It has a layer of ominousness to it. It has a layer of mystery to it, but it can be turned other ways.
I felt a sense of menace.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just excited to get to experience it with players.
Just really hope that, personally, I've written something that they can really connect with and love.
Seeing
and
it in
if I can cause a
game
couple of goosebumps in there, I'll
sounds
take
fun.
that as a bonus too.
I'm sure he will. I am sure he will.
Players get taken on a journey that
Oh my gosh,
inspires
this is
them and
awesome.
makes them feel like
Okay, this is
this
big.
world is really unique and really
It
special.
seems a lot bigger.
My favorite feeling
I don't
as a
know,
creator
just so many
is
environments.
getting to watch someone's look of like absolute surprise.
I want players to feel hope, that exciting, boundless potential that Destiny has, and world of possibility that Star Wars unlocked.
Okay. Ooh. A hive ogre. he's just there.
Waiting
Old Greg.
so long for this.
Why he moan a little bit? Okay. I think that was pretty good. I do think that was pretty good.
All right, welcome back to the Cantina. So what you just saw was our second Vidoc, Making of a Renegade, or What It Takes to Make a Renegade. This is our moment to really peel back the curtain and show you how games are made. It's a monumental effort, and what you saw, it was a mix of our narrative design, audio, our
Nice,
collaboration efforts with Lucasfilm Games. Many thanks to everyone involved. Also, a few folks that weren't pictured there, ranging from design, production, test. Even a shout out, I got to give it to IT for keeping our computers running, and our services folks too for keeping our servers running. So,
a lot of unspoken roles here that are essential to the studio, but yeah, so far I'm really I like the Vidoc. This has been really good. I want to see like I mentioned, more systems. It seems like the Renegades destinations are very numerous, and very cinematic. So maybe what we've seen is like not accessible areas, and some of it's just cutscene. I don't know, but let's see some more. Maybe they'll show us.
Today we're going to be talking about the Lawless Frontier. This is our new activity coming with Destiny 2 Renegades, and we have 3 developers on our couch to talk us through what we're seeing. It'll be a fun deep dive. So without further ado, let's get some introductions.
I forget what his
Eric
name
Smith,
is.
we're starting with you.
Eric.
DMG, Damage 04. Yes, my name is
04.
Eric Smith. I am a combat design lead on Destiny 2. You may know me from my work where I was the design lead on the Strand subclasses. I started kind of making the stasis abilities, and most recently the Renegades ability buffs.
Awesome.
Interesting.
Yeah,
okay.
next up, Tom Farnsworth. This is the first time that you and I are going to stream together, but a quick introduction for folks that may not have seen you in previous Vidocs.
Yeah, so I'm Tom, the creative lead for Renegades, and I've been at Bungie for I don't know, I can't even remember, 13, 14 years. Worked on Destiny 1, Destiny 2.
Love the glasses.
The highlights were probably Dreaming City, Season of the Splicer, 30th and Into the Light were the most recent things I worked on leading in this, but this has been an absolute blast to work on.
Awesome. Yeah,
Wow.
thanks for joining us today.
Into the
and last
Light
but not
was
least,
the
our
last thing
grid
he
skipper
worked on.
aficionado, Taylor Bjorndal. How you doing?
Great.
Grid
Taylor Bjorndal,
skipper.
associate weapons designer, here to talk about all the rewards and blasters and the practice played and all the other stuff.
No, if he's the weapons designer, I can understand why he likes Grid
Yeah,
Skipper.
so just for folks, if you end up missing anything, if we go a little bit fast, we got a lot to pack through. We'll have a VOD on Twitch and YouTube after this. And if you missed our Vidoc or the launch trailer, those will be uploaded as well. So what we're seeing on screen right now, we're launching into our Lawless Frontier activity. Tom, I would love to put the spotlight on you. Let's give a quick description. What is the Lawless Frontier?
So the Lawless Frontier is our core game.
No, hold on. Don't talk about that. Is that a
We're launching into our
cutscene?
Lawless Frontier activity.
Is this a cutscene? Okay, no. Okay. For a second, I thought this was like a player ship or something. It's like, whoa, but no, it just
Tom,
looks
I
like
would
a
love to
generic
put
cutscene.
the
I don't know.
spotlight on you. Let's give a quick description. What is the Lawless Frontier?
So the Lawless Frontier is our core game mode in Renegades. You're going to play through some of the campaign, but it's really what comprises our end game. And the idea is that you're a renegade, you're taking on these shady jobs like bounty hunting, smuggling, and sabotage from our syndicates, and you're doing so to increase your notoriety, your power, and your riches, and of course to get some sweet loot.
Yeah, and when you talk about bounty hunting, sabotaging, that kind of stuff, those are different types of this activity, right?
Yeah, their bounty hunting is all about taking out a key syndicate boss. Sabotage is about blowing the heck out of everything with your renegade abilities, dropping airstrikes on Cabal vehicles, and smuggling is about grabbing everything that isn't tied down.
Yep. In true fashion, when you're going into a dangerous spot, you got to just grab whatever you can find, right?
Yep.
This seems to be
today
on
we're
like
gonna be
normal
focusing on
difficulty.
bounty
They're
hunt,
just
and I
kind of
believe you
mowing
said
down
this is kind of
everything.
like a
but-
quintessential Destiny vibe of an activity, right?
Yeah, it's probably the closest to a traditional
okay.
Destiny activity, but you're gonna start in the ready.
You know what I like? This is a big zone with not much cover. And I feel like in actual places where you're actually fighting, I feel like there's just too much cover. And So when there aren't that many spots for cover, this might be cool. I don't know. We'll see.
Right.
Yeah, it's probably the closest to a traditional Destiny activity, but you're going to start in the ready room, which is kind of a unique experience, and you're going to be able to pick your renegade abilities in there from your little shank buddy that's in there. You'll hop aboard Hawk.
Oh my gosh! Look at that! Look at that warlock! Look at that warlock throw a rift while moving.
Shank buddy that's in there. You'll hop
Dang!
aboard Hawk, and you'll drop down
That's
to the destination.
crazy.
You can see we're already in.
That's like
on one of the
watching a
Mars
fish
maps that we have.
learn to
There are
walk.
All these
Like,
jobs
what the
taking place
hell?
across Mars, Venus, and
That's a
Europa,
cool
and
looking
there's
gun.
2 maps on each destination.
And you missed,
This is
bro.
Fortitude, and right now we're doing a bounty hunt, and we're working to draw out the intel officers to track down where our target is. After
like
this,
that.
there'll be resurgence of the security forces of that target. They'll have a classic boss fight,
Weapon
but with,
lockbox.
a bunch of wrinkles thrown in for
Extractable.
gameplay here of things, hazards that are at play, your abilities, maybe an invader.
Whoa. Wait. Hold on a sec.
Hazards that are
So he goes in this like little field. He has his jetpack fuel just maxed out now, which is the exotic, I'm sure. But okay, what? I think it was this field finishing that caused these abilities to turn into the renegade abilities, whatever they are. Interesting.
your abilities, maybe an invader, which we'll talk about later, and then you'll exfil with your bounty and get
of
some
course,
loot
they
to
have to
take us
show
back
off
to
the
our social
finishers.
space, Tharsis Junction,
What does
where
this
you'll be able to
do?
spend your currencies to buy.
He threw that
some of the
down.
cool
Is that like
blasters,
supply drop
or maybe some of the
call-in? It looks
cosmetics and
like.
customizations
Yeah.
for the Praxis
He
Blade we're gonna
called
talk
down a
about.
bubble.
Yeah, and I mean, so as we're going through this, we're going to be seeing a lot
Maybe
of
it gives
abilities
you
that players
amplify-
know
I
and
don't
love
know.
on screen, but we
Yeah,
have
it
new
gives you some
abilities,
buff, I'm sure,
renegade
maybe
abilities that are going to
heals.
be for this activity. And Eric, you're going to be our person of knowledge here.
Looks like there's a lot more
what do
cover
we
than I
got on
thought.
screen?
Never
Yeah,
mind.
so Renegade
Whoa!
Abilities is a new ability system we have in Renegades.
What is that gun? The sweet
what
business.
you do is we have a brand new button for you to press. That's going to be R3 on the controller and then Z on the keyboard.
Another
And that's
button,
gonna
boys!
Switch you into a different mode that gives you new
Oh, okay, so you switch into a different mode. 12 button mouse users stay winning.
abilities for your grenade and your melee. That sends out one of these tokens. We have here on the screen, you can see we have one called Revitalize that heals you and
Interesting.
Provides you with ability energy. And then we have the other one, which is the Deflector Shield, which is this zone I can sit inside and shoot out of, and it blocks all the incoming damage. It's also going to,
Seems a
for my
bit
allies
good.
who are inside the shield,
On top of
it will,
rifts and well,
amplify them
and bubble.
and then jolt any enemies who pass through it. And all of these have 7 levels of upgrades. So when you
Okay.
first start, they will have certain
Okay.
functionality and certain strength, and as you upgrade them, they're going to get better and better. And they really change the gameplay, right? Like they're kind of these pocket supers almost. That as a hunter, I'm able to be like, I'm going to build support, right? I'm going to choose these 2 support.
Is he going to deflect the
Renegade
explosion?
abilities and make
No,
sure my
he's just
team
gonna tank it, it looks
has
like.
what they need to survive this tough
Yeah,
environment.
normally they're not
You can also
dying.
see in this mode we have non-regenerating health. So things like that
Oh.
revitalize.
Okay.
Renegade ability are really going to come in handy.
I've been
to be
thinking,
like,
how is this going to be
we need
difficult at all?
Take
That's
a break and heal.
nice.
Let's pop over here to some safety, and anyone can build into that if that's what they want. You know, we have things like vehicles that you can pull in or you can call down from your ship. So that's one thing. There's so much to talk about.
Yeah, well, before we get to the ship, actually, let's talk a little bit more about the health mechanics in here.
Yes,
Because we
that's
had
kinda
this in some
crazy
previous
that he said
activities like Nether, and we got a ton of great feedback on like how much you get back, how you get it back, and I've seen already in this activity, as you're going through, there's some pots, there's some ways that you can get it. There are the Renegades abilities, but Tom, if you want to talk a little bit
They're
more
making us
We
play
took Nether as a
Gambit
base, but I'd say
again.
this is a little bit more forgiving.
Smith strikes
the way that
again.
health works is, you've got a large pool of health. It does not regenerate at the top level.
that was
but
a
if you get down to 0,
gigantic
it will
explosion.
regenerate to the base shield. So you got some of the red flashing screen.
800 each,
And you can either use a normal sandbox like a rift, a healing, a support weapon. You can crack open these pots that have those little healing orbs you can see on the screen to get some of your health back. Or you can use things like Revitalize and like build your Renegade abilities into kind of dealing with those kind of challenges we're putting in front of you. And one thing that I really like about this mode is like we've got Expert, Master, Grandmaster, and on Grandmaster you're really gonna need to use all these abilities that kind of like coordinate with your teammates and kind of build a loadout to kind of conquer the challenges we put in front of you.
Awesome.
Sure.
Yeah, so going back to, you had mentioned the ship when we're using our Renegade abilities. And I think earlier, outside of the Vex Dome,
this
there
will
was kind
all
of like
be
an
accessible
airstrike that
through the
happened too,
portal.
right?
Yeah, we have a strafing run that you can upgrade, and your ship, so the one that you have customized and put your shader on, will fly through the arena and drop bombs in sequence, right? And as I upgrade this, it gets more and more devastating until it
look at that meter on the ammo.
Beyond
That's
any of
cool.
the supers we have in the game. It's incredible. There's another one.
Okay, so
that's the
lightsabers are
Cabal
special.
Drop pod, and what that does
sorry, I wasn't
is,
looking at
you
that
know, if
earlier.
you're familiar with a Cabal drop pod, it is this giant metal ball that slams into the ground. And
That means
in
we're gonna
this
get a
case,
heavy
it is almost like a
lightsaber.
supply drop because it's full of ammo.
Anti-barrier.
And it's also
Let's
going to
go.
squish anything under us. And it does incredible damage. Not only that, but it will damage you and your teammates. So you got to be really careful.
It will delete them.
The
Just
controller
delete them. You got to be
turns.
careful where you drop this thing.
Offensive supply.
Makes sense for
Yeah,
one
but
of
you
these
can be
videos.
the
so.
Cabal now. You can turn it around on them.
Yeah, I want the drop
So,
pod.
Bjorndal, we've had you kind of sitting quiet over there. I'd love to talk about the blasters that our players have been using. So in the Vidoc, we were talking about the balanced blaster and the dynamic blaster. Can you break down each, just a quick review
Use your
of each,
jetpack,
and
bro,
then we can
come
talk
on.
through some of the reload mechanics?
Yep, sure. So yeah, we have two sets of blasters, or two different kinds of blasters. The dynamics are like more aggressive, harder hitting, faster rate of fire. They can like generally punch above their weight class, but they're like a little bit harder to manage heat on. The balanced blasters is more like a rain of bullets. Like I'm just gonna unload on a big pack of stuff and like really have like a deep mag.
Cool. And what you can see on screen right here, these are going to be all the blasters that you can get from running our Lawless Frontier activity, and then we'll actually have a slate of blasters that you can earn through the dungeon, which we'll talk a little bit about later. But yeah, when it came to really balancing blasters and bringing them into Destiny as a new kind of weapon type, I would love to hear what were the challenges, what was some of the fun in developing those things with the team.
Absolutely, yeah. So like one of the things that was in the Vidoc was
Wow.
kind of finding
That
the
thing's
balance
melt-
of like
oh, it's
how much
a
Star Wars
heavy,
versus how
okay.
much Destiny we wanted on these things, and it was a collaborative effort with basically everybody on the team. These were Mercule's project for most of this release, but it was like a big effort on design, test, animation, audio to really sell the experience of using these and to make them look and feel the part for like what people would expect from both the
okay.
Destiny gun and the Star Wars blaster.
Awesome. Yeah, I mean, since we're on the topic of loot
so
and gear,
getting kills.
our Guardian right now is using
Charges
the
your
new
jetpack.
Praxic Blade and also getting smashed by a Cabal drop pod. But I'd love to hear about the customization that y'all developed for this, and this can be Tom
Okay,
and
let's see
Bjorn to
it.
talk to it. Yeah.
Sure.
What
Yeah,
is
so
Bro
you're going to
doing?
get the
Just use
Praxic
your-
Blade by collaborating with Honor throughout the
Just punch
campaign. She's
everybody.
going to like deem you worthy of earning it. You go on a cool little quest that I don't want to spoil to earn one for yourself. And then post-campaign, you're going to unlock the ability to customize it. You're going to be able to change out your dark matter crystals and change the color of the blade to match your personality.
What?
And
These
you're
people
gonna
do
be able
not know how to play cover.
Change a bunch of different mods and gameplay elements, right?
Yeah. So there's
Can Bungie
a
hire
whole bunch
me
of different things you can kind of
to play the game
fit
for
your
their
playstyle
live
on
streams?
this, where we have
I'll use
forums,
controller because I can play
cores,
cover.
mods, and 4 different catalysts on it. And the forums kind of change like how you can get ammo back and give you some damage bonuses based off of different gameplay styles. And the cores let you apply subclass verbs to a different part of what the weapon does, depending on
That's interesting.
something that matches your subclass. So like
Yeah.
you can add sever to like the saber throw, or something else.
Oh my.
Like weaken or jolting.
Yeah, it creates these really cool combos where I am strike, I'm throwing to debuff
Put
enemy,
me on the
and then
weapons
getting
team,
it back
please.
and striking again.
I would
Yeah,
just
and
love
during
to
a couple
just
of our,
see the
trial runs
conversations.
with
It
this,
sounds
you
like
were
a
talking
really
about
interesting
there are some animations
space.
and different combos in your melee structure, right?
Yeah. So there's like a 3 or 4 hit combo you can do where you will end it with like a big spinny move that's like very thematic, almost kind of like how the Arc
I will
Seth
never
has, like,
get
the
used to
little hidden
that
combo
rift
there.
animation.
Awesome.
I did want to call out, we also saw the Renegade ability, the turret that we have. It is called the Piker Mortar, and it is like the strongest turret we've ever built. Like it is, it has crazy range, crazy damage, and is a really nice, I'm going to throw this thing out to manage this part of the map. Yeah, while I deal with other stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, no, so as we're coming to the end of this activity, I'd love to just know kind of some of the narrative dressing. So as you're going into the Lawless Frontier, it's our activity, but also kind of like the feel of this experience. And there's a turf war going on. I know Robbie in a previous stream, we were talking about the turf war a bit, but Tom, if you could expand on that and how that sets up this activity.
Sure. So in the end game,
Needle
the
Storm,
syndicates are in this
Needles
kind of
now
ongoing
prefer
turf
bosses.
war across Mars, Venus, and Europa, and you can
I
kind of
see
take
why.
advantage of that by taking on their contracts that they offer and kind of winning out the day for them. But in doing so, you can extract maximum power, profits, rewards from them, and you can take anything you earn through engaging in these jobs and completing these priority contracts they offer. You can go back to the social space. You can they each have their own
Contracts. They're
reward
not
track,
bounties.
like
They're not bounties.
the Tharsis Reformation.
Not
They
bounties.
offer weapons to unlock, new abilities, upgrades for those abilities. Some elements.
like
or
seeing
mods
revive
for the
tokens,
Phyrexian
that's cool,
Blade,
even
and
on
a
the
whole bunch
lower
of other,
difficulties.
things like some shaders too, so you can kind of like rep your favorite syndicate on your armor, which is pretty cool.
That's pretty cool, yeah.
It's definitely
Faction
one of
rallies.
with the Lawless Frontier, it's one of the most cohesive and deepest modes we've ever built. Like everything from this mode types into the holo map, into the different mini game modes within it, into the social space. So like it's going to be exciting to see players kind of peel back all the layers.
Yeah, I'm really liking so far that from what they're saying, it definitely seems like it's all interwoven, and so this may be the biggest part of the expansion is this activity. We'll have to see. It may just be like campaign and then you do this, but this doesn't seem bad, and you're depending on variety, it might be good.
Maybe get into some the darker corners like Invasion.
Yeah.
I'll take it over grinding Caldera solo ups.
And I mean, so we've progressed. We've defeated the boss that we were hunting down for our bounty hunt. And this portion of the activity is kind of emblematic of we're in a lawless frontier that's dangerous. Even after you've finished your objective, now it looks like you got to fight your way out.
Yeah. So every job in the Lawless Frontier, in this case, bounty hunt,
Unfortunate, that's a heavy.
it escalates over time. So it gets harder the longer you're there. So there's real pressure to get in.
If that's not an exotic
do your
new land
objective and
plus
get out.
that, it's going to be very funny.
Just so right now we're in the exfil. This is the final moments of the activity. You send up a flare, you call your ship in. The Cabal are pouring down on you here. You're throwing out your renegade abilities.
Okay, this is
and
good.
you're just
This
trying
will
to
be a
survive,
really good
until
moment.
Your ship gets there. In this case, each of the three.
So basically what I'm looking at is the enemy dentistry here is actually really good. Because I'm sure this is like one of the easier or the normal difficulty. So, they're not taking no damage. And, I like that. I like seeing that. And the amount of enemies, and that they all seem decently tanky, or at least they seem to be throwing a lot of like stronger ones. So I really like that. I want to see the difficulty increase, and I wonder if it's just kind of gonna be AoE spam the game. That's one thing that I think a lot of people are, or at least some people are not 1,000,000,000% on board with, is abilities over guns. It does seem to me like the guns are supplementary to abilities, which was obviously not the case at first. So it's interesting seeing the shift, and require more enemies on screen generally, just because it's all AoE based now. But I don't know. We'll have to see where it goes, because it seems like we're really, 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 really strong right now. And so I just wonder, how is this going to be difficult beyond just, everything insta-kills you now? It's like, that doesn't sound fun. So I want this to be hard. It looks good. This looks good. I just want them to nail the difficulty.
Jobs, bounty hunt, smuggle, and sabotage have their own unique mechanic. So for bounty hunt, you have to take out these three mini bosses, which we call retaliators here.
Yeah, so as our fire team is fighting their way out, we actually do have a preview of a fun exotic that's coming with the reward pass in Destiny 2 Renegades. I believe we have a preview that we can share. But Bjorndal, if you could give a quick overview of our exotic machine gun.
Yeah, so this is the Service of Luzaku. It's a very unique machine gun. It's almost like a necromancer, broodweaver theme where you turn your enemies into these little nests of threadlings that you can like shoot and then spawn more and like build it up to control like a space.
I don't think that's it.
Yeah, and threadlings just got a buff, correct?
Threadlings did get a buff. They're smarter than they were before.
Yeah, and to segue more appropriately, over the last few weeks we've been doing a series of blog articles with y'all on the Sandbox team talking about the core game updates coming to Destiny 2 available to all players. So we have a lot of quality of life changes that are coming to your supers, your subclass abilities, all that kind of stuff that we just previewed yesterday. One of which, Warlock focused, was around threadlings, your strand abilities. If you want to cover that really quick.
Yeah,
they do seem to be much more direct,
Warlock is
I feel,
moving
rather than
while
like
lifting, which is a huge kind of quality of life upgrade that allows you to dodge attacks, get into cover, close
just that
the gap
alone
while
buffs
you're
this
casting your
subclass.
ability. Works really well with the new Warlock exotic as well. So there are, if you haven't
Child
seen
of the
that
Old Gods is
article
going to
we
go
put out
crazy.
yesterday, please
but yeah,
check
the
it out.
threadlings
There's a
seem
lot of
very
great,
direct. They don't seem like every time I use them, they just get lost. You know, they're like, I'm just going to die now. So it seems cool that they're like
with the exotic
really.
tuning
Oh, you have
article,
to actually jump in. That's kind
Wait,
of
I
cool.
want to see more. Which in the future we will definitely have more. But
I
in
would
the
love
abilities
to
preview,
talk about the future, but we can't. But because there's a lot of exciting Hunter stuff that we are working on.
So with the abilities updates for Hunters, Golden Gun got a pass?
Yeah, so Golden Gun got a pass, does more damage, and now scorches on impact. We fixed an issue where you had to step outside of your well to get full damage. Now you can stay in the well.
That's fine.
Outside of that, we saw in the gameplay Gunpowder Gamble. If you throw it and you shoot it before it explodes naturally, it does more damage, more radius.
Yeah, it seems huge.
And also spits out.
Ooh, okay, this is a cool little reward zone.
Yeah,
I like this.
We need to cover
Extract,
the
in a
type
way.
changes for Sentinel. The big.
Yeah, Sentinel Shield. We're excited about this one. So Sentinel Shield is getting a shift a little bit.
Okay.
A bit of a rework, right?
Yeah, a bit of a
Yeah, I
rework.
want Sentinel Shield. I'm going to be on that
usage
for
rates
sure.
work great, and we want to provide something that is kind of on par with well, as far as like, what am I going to take into a raid to support my team? So in Renegades, your Sentinel Shield, as you're holding it up, your allies behind your shield are going to auto reload, and they're just kind of
So, if you are somebody who has played Destiny for a long time, like I have, this is scary. This is really, really scary for raid design. Personally, I find it scary. But we'll see. You know? But team-wide auto-loading, especially with how good special weapons are right now, because I know when they first revealed that it was going to get the every 2.5 seconds your full team behind your shield will auto reload. When they revealed that, they said, oh, well, you know, it's good in swap loadouts, but you know, you can't just unload your heavy like that, like, you know, like rockets. It's like, what? First off, people are already, there are a lot of ways to reload and reload really quickly, but having an auto reload and swap reload or in a swap loadout means we're just going to have more time to pump damage with mint Gatorade and the you know, those super building like things like, I know Peacekeepers isn't going to be super meta still, but like, you know, just building that Peacekeepers supers Titan super spam on top of auto loading something like a rocket launcher. I just don't know. That seems like a lot of damage, and the response, I feel like it must be that they raise the, you know, health bars and such, and then we run into a Desert Perpetual contest issue, you know, where it's like, do we, is it fun to just have these bosses have 70 billion HP? For some people, maybe. I don't know. So I'm a little concerned for that specific buff right there. But I guess, doing a big damage buff wouldn't be very exciting. So I don't know. They could always rework it.
Rhythm to it. So if you can fire at the right time, you can just be like rocket, rocket, rocket. So it is like the actual like.
What? So look, I'm sure maybe this guy is a solid player or whatever. He kind of has to be at least decent, I feel. But if he's able to say that, and he's not like a top, Destiny Pro player. I'm not a top Destiny Pro player, but what are your? I don't know. I don't know how they're going to balance this. This is a particularly concerning thing. More than the portal, more than I want to see system changes. I want to see how the hell is that balanced. We'll see. Well, it's one of those things you just have to experience, how everything ends up playing out in the end. It's all down to a lot of specific numbers and how it's going to play out. And I'm not really a numbers guy. I'm not, the good ages for that. This is not the right channel for numbers, but I don't know. I just want to see auto loading not in the game, maybe. I'm just really scared about that. And I think if you've been around for Reckoning and other stuff, I think Callus plates, all that. Crown of Sorrow. Anybody remember Crown damage meta? Ugh, yeah. Swarm of the Raven. Make sure you have spike nades.
Damage increase is big. Not only that, but as I guard my enemies and the shield takes damage, I'm charging this bar up that
now that's cool.
That charges up my shield throw.
This is cool.
At full charge, that shield throw is going to do Thunder Crash level damage, which.
Whoa! Whoa! Okay, so they said they was going to do more damage, absolutely, and I was like, yeah, cool. I'm sure it'll maybe kill a good chunky orange bar or something. Thunder Crash? Oh no, dude. Oh no. What the fuck? What? Oh, yikes. I am scared. I am really scared of that. The most frightening sentences.
Depending on how players use it, maybe you even get 2 of those out of a single super. Like it's strong. So that's what we want, right? We want to provide that power fantasy to players. I think this era of Destiny is like fun first. We want players to
and I know I'm pausing a lot. But I have a lot of thoughts on this kind of thing specifically because balance and power creep and all that is something I really, pay attention to a lot. And I like that they said this. And this is a big deal that I think Bungie does not pay attention to enough, or it doesn't communicate enough. I need Bungie to say, hey, this is how we want the game to play. Right? Because otherwise, we're going to run into players being like, well, surely they're not designing it like that, right? Like, there's no way that's what they want, right? But I don't know. But then, but this change, it wouldn't make sense with this other change. It's so hard to pinpoint what the hell Bungie wants their game to be. And so when we get insane power creep, like I just described, and then he says, and that's what we want it to be. This era of Destiny is fun first. That is a really big statement. And I hope that is something that is very much scripted and cleared by everybody at, Bungie who'd be involved, because I don't want that to be just like one person's kind of take. I'm pretty positive. And of course, him being the, I think weapons designer, wasn't it? Or no, gameplay or sandbox designer, something like that, lead. But, combat I think design or something like that. But anyways, so it's really good to hear that from this guy. that helps me set my expectations. I was saying I was really, really scared because like, oh, the balance, but it seems to me that that's not as big of a problem. And as somebody who has been playing for years since Destiny 2 came out and has been playing at a high level, I would say, right? Like I've done some contests. I definitely have, solo flawless every dungeon. I'm very confident on all three classes. In a contest situation, I could absolutely perform on all three. So I'm very, prepared. I'm a very strong player, and with that, I am so tired of this of the stress, of like, oh shit. Are we gonna run into is this gonna be a Root of Nightmares? Is this gonna be a Desert Perpetual? Like, are we supposed to feel nerfed? Are we supposed to feel really, really crazy strong? And it's like, it's really, really soothing, And so I am now immediately less scared because it's like, yeah, that's kind of broken. And that's what they want, and that's kind of how I've been feeling, and was something I've been slowly on my own coming to the conclusion of after playing a bunch of Behemoth Titan after the recent changes. It's broken. It's just broken. Like, I know there was the whole Behemoth in your super, you do the slide spam, what's it called, Howl of the Storm, so you spam that, and yes, that is good. And it is, it's either getting nerfed or it got nerfed, so that's good. But even without just that, the rest of the class feels incredibly broken. And when I play Solar on Titan as well, I kind of feel similarly. I have my support build. The two Titan builds I have on my channel, the Solar and the Stasis ones, they feel really broken now. And so they feel really broken, and I'm like, is that right? Are we just gonna get hit with a stick? Are we just gonna get, just really nerfed? Are they gonna kneecap us? But no, it seems like they are doubling down and making it more or less just across the board. Every subclass is gonna be broken. And the last thought I have on all that is, where is that leading? Because there must be one of two things has to happen if power creep is going to continue in this direction. So one of two things has to happen. One, the game has to change dramatically, because if we continue to get stronger, even on the easiest mode, there is no reasonable way to balance the current structure of the game. Like, you cannot, even on the easiest or hardest modes, you can't balance that. If they keep, like, from this level, where we're getting the, this Void Titan buff, from that kind of power creep, if you continue to go further, the game has to change. We need not only crazy amount more enemies, which would be a really big deal for Destiny. That would be a really taxing thing on their systems, I would imagine, considering previous issues. And so if the game isn't going to change into almost an ARPG angle where there's just tons and hordes of enemies just thrown at you and you could just demolish 30 of them with one ability, that feels like the direction we're going. But if they don't want to go that way, the other thing is a hard reset. So this makes me wonder, is Destiny 3 coming out in the next 2 years? It's hard to say. And so, I don't know. Those are just my immediate thoughts, because this, I feel, is a really big deal. Like, addressing the power creep has been my number one thing that I need to get info on from Bungie, And so this is interesting. This is really interesting. I like this. I like that it's fun first. Because I think that's also a trend in games as a whole right now, where it is very important that the player gets to have a good time and isn't too frustrated, right? Because there are so many games and there's only so much time to play them. And so when you're like, yeah, I gotta slog through this, like, that's not very fun. But then there also has to be the, some balance, it does have to have a challenge. So It's interesting. I just want to see where it lands. I really want to see where it lands, and I am okay with them taking this fun first approach. So let's see what else they have to say.
Have a great time and feel overpowered.
I'm gonna hold you to it.
I should have kept listening for a second. Overpowered. That's it. That's all I needed to hear to establish those thoughts. So very interesting.
Yeah, I honestly can't wait. But yeah, so we finished our activity, our first run of the Lawless Frontier. Now we're going to go into another. And Tom, you had mentioned invasions earlier in the stream, and this is going to be our opportunity to show a little bit of that, flavor. We're going to look at some of the UI in the orbit screens and our new holo map, and then we're going to show what it is to be invaded, new optional activity type as well, right?
Yeah. So in Invasion, like you might be familiar with Gambit. This is kind of like a new take on that kind of familiar mechanic here in Renegades.
This is the third time
players that kind of take on the role of a bounty hunter, working with the syndicates, tracking down these renegades that are messing up their operations, taking out their commanders, stealing their stuff. And so you get to be kind of play on the other side here. You get to play on the opposition. So you're allied with all of the enemy combatants on the field. You can kind of wade in amongst them and pick and choose the strategic moment where you want to kind of like lash out at these players and like steal their bounty.
Yeah.
And
So how do you launch into this?
so here's the holo map, just for everybody. This is kind of a standard interface
All
for
right,
the Lawless
everybody.
Frontier. This is how you access
Bust
social
out your
space,
truth.
all of our jobs, and then in the end game we unlock the yellow node, which is invasion, and the red node, which is the contested territory. So we can take a look at the contested node here. This is where all every day the syndicates are fighting over one of the maps on each of the planets, and you can kind of, as a defender, kind of throw in your pledge to the side you want to fight for. But these are also invadable nodes. So one thing I want to highlight is that invasion is opt-in. It's not a requirement. So if players don't want to deal with PvP, they can do like an expert difficulty for this, or they can just go to any of these other nodes on the map here that aren't invadable. But for the priority, the contested node on the highest difficulties, that's where the highest rewards are. That's where the invasion is. Now, on the other side, if you're an invader, you don't need to worry about the nodes. You can just go to the invasion node. You need to have some death marks, which are a currency you earn by playing by just playing Lawless Frontier. You'll just accumulate them. And one interesting wrinkle here is you can actually wager those for additional rewards. So if we go to the little pane here on the side, there's these things. There's the death marks. You can interact with them two
I hope this isn't all or nothing.
To double and triple your rewards, which obviously you're taking on some risk here. If you go do an invasion and it doesn't go your way, you could lose those tokens, but I think a lot of players are going to want to do this because they can just get triple rewards on each invasion, which is really exciting. And on the other side, for people being invaded, if you take the invader down, you're going to get more time on the clock. You're going to get some revives back, and every time you kill an invader, they have the chance to drop extractables, which are rewards you can dunk at the end of the activity to get bonus armor, weapons. Yeah.
Stellar. So let's get our invader launched in here. We'll go back to our gameplay team.
Definitely wanna see
while we're
this.
loading in, let's talk about what is the actual kind of approach to invasions. What are the objectives aside from seeking out guardians and destroying them?
Yeah. So as an invader, you're gonna start in the ready room, which we're gonna show in a minute here. You're gonna pick your loadout, like what's the right renegade abilities to bring in, and we've seen in playtest there's a lot of different fun combos here. Like, are you gonna bring in the deflector shield, and then the other team's gonna drop one, and then you're fighting on the Venn diagram of the deflector shields, or are you gonna just be a little more brute force and drop a behemoth and but try to be sneaky about it? And that's pretty hard to be sneaky in a giant walker, but you want to really pick those moments as the invader, because your goal here is to get 6 kills or 3 kills and 3 crests. You've got 6 points you need to get. You've got about 5 minutes to do it. You've got 3 lives. You've got just enough time to really kind of get in there,
if the red
see
bar,
where they
just the
are,
enemies fight you.
kind of rotate around.
He's
and,
back.
Do a surgical strike.
It's been
and
so
then try to
long
get
since
them
I've
all
seen
in one
that
go.
model. Well, I guess
and
we
if
saw it in
you're lucky, you
Splicer.
can do that, but you've got a few chances. And on the other side, they're going to know you're there. They're going to see that there's an invader on the field, but they're also trying to juggle the objectives that are on their side. And
they don't know when in the activity it's going to happen, right? So it could happen early on, it could happen later.
Yep.
But only happens once per.
Only once.
I wonder if emotes come through on the text.
And then one of the fun dynamics here too is playing the waiting game. You can instill a little bit of anxiety in that team you're invading. So you don't have to hop in immediately and go guns blazing. You can wait until they're at a pivotal moment where they're like, "Where's this guy?
Yeah,
What's
wait
going to
until
happen?
they fight the boss.
It's been 3 minutes. Where are they?"
Wait until someone breaks off to go find a chest.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh man. So in terms of balancing as well,
I
are there
like
any
this
like
a
extra
lot.
abilities or things that
I hope
invaders
this
are gonna
plays well.
have at their disposal, or is it just a match of the renegade abilities?
It's mostly renegade abilities, though. Invaders will have, some amount of super, no heavy, and when they
No heavy.
we do.
Oh my God! No way! No way! There is no way! Oh, what? What a delight! Oh my goodness! I feel seen. I feel seen. Oh, thank you, Bungie. Thank you. No heavy.
Some amount of super, no heavy, and when they come in, we do highlight the PvE, the defender players, just so like they have a little bit of an idea where to go, and they can use that knowledge to kind of plan their initial attack.
Cool. Yeah,
now, I
this
hope
is-
they
it's
just
been a
can't
bit of
pick
a
up
balancing
heavy.
act as you've been
Probably
going through this
can,
in the different
but
cycles.
at
In
least
Gambit,
loading in with
like,
none
we
is
choose
very
that
nice.
invader because it's a 1v4. In this, because you have the chaos of the lawless frontier and all that kind of stuff. Like you want it to be tilted a little bit because it's 1v3, but also you want to make sure if players are opting into this, they still have a fighting chance.
Yeah.
So.
And there's also the element of the non-regenerating health, which is a larger health pool, right? We've tuned it so it's more or less the same TTKs or time to kills as you have in Crucible, but players don't regenerate health, so you kind of have to take that into account when you are.
That's tough.
When you're
There's some attrition that can happen, like for the invader, where they can kind of wear people down if they're not paying attention.
We have our invader in their ready room. Let's talk about their shank buddy here.
Yeah, here's our little shank buddy. You want to speak to any of these abilities there?
Yeah, so we have 9
like
Renegade
this.
abilities here. Huge shout out to Cat Sayers and the rest of the tech design team for all their work on these. I mean, it looks like right now we got Nate picking the Imperium Behemoth and the Drop Pod, but yeah, there's a variety of ones to choose from. We got multiple. We have 3 different vehicles, and each of those vehicles have different upgrades with different functionality.
Yeah, and the Behemoth has like 3 or 4 versions of it too.
Yeah, there's like missiles.
I love that they use the
audio
Gambit
and
portal
everything
still.
is just so good. Okay, so our invader has started. It looks like moving toward our targets and preparing to throw that coin. So you can see there they clicked that right stick, and that is going to ready the ability. They then throw the ability and just drop.
Okay.
The drop box. Yeah.
Okay,
So,
well, I no longer feel seen.
And
Remove
Tom, before
heavy
we were hopping in
from
here before the
PvP.
stream, we were talking about like the
And
size of the
supers.
maps and how as an invader, like the first few runs, you might
Maybe it
feel
makes more
maybe a
sense
little
for this,
lost
though.
because there's a lot of space to cover. But as you get
My question is, couldn't this person, like, let's say, like this heavy that they're using, we've seen it to be like a single shot. It looks like No Land Beyond, right? But with it's heavy, so it's going to do a lot of damage. So couldn't this person, because this isn't even that slow of a single shot, like it's not. It seems a little slower than Newland, and so it's like, couldn't this person just farm these people? Couldn't they just kind of like, headshot snipe, boom, you're dead, Or truth rocket across the map. It's like, if they're just gonna get heavy right off the bat like that, that's kind of lame. And it's like, that could just kind of, I don't know. We'll have to see. This is really bold of them to take Gambit and invading specifically, which is the failure of Gambit has always been on the balance of invading. And to apply this to their biggest mode and keep the biggest problem causer being heavy ammo from the invader, that's interesting to me. That's really bold, we'll say. So we'll just have to, I guess, see where they take it.
more
A little
acquainted
concerned,
with
but we'll see.
Europa or Venus
It looks
or
still
Mars,
fun as a
you can find
concept,
better paths
just-
to get directly to the combat.
Yeah, what if they do that?
These are some of our bigger maps we built. They're more comparable to like our larger public spaces that we built
So they
in
just
Destiny. And again, there's 6
Can
of them. And
hunker down, yeah.
There's any
Makes
number of
sense.
arenas these PvE players can be in that you're going to be.
So our invader just wiped one out with the Thunder Crash and tried to hide and throw out the beacon for the
Invis hunters
or the
have
Imperium
entered the
behemoth,
chat.
as we call it, but then got needle stormed right before they could jump into it. That was incredible.
So that's one of those strategic moments of like, how do I put the chess pieces down? How do I approach this and all that?
That was interesting because they invalidated that beacon, right? Before they could use it. So the timing was impeccable.
Oh man.
I guess
oh boy,
that's
what was I just
sorta
talking about?
true.
Size of the maps. Yeah, in rewards, I wanted to ask really quick.
I will say though, imagine being that person who just got Thunder Crashed out of nowhere. Does that sound fun to you? Does it sound like, oh, where's the invader? Oh, I'm dead now. Like, I don't know. Maybe from their perspective, the invader. Let's see if we can see that from this now. Maybe the invader's highlighted.
So as you're wagering, you add more and more. Is there like a cap? Is it double the amount of rewards, or do you have?
It goes up to triple. So each additional death mark.
Awesome
you put
animations
down
for those, by the way.
Okay,
we'll double or triple it.
Here we go.
Try again.
Here we go.
Jump in. We're already taking a lot of damage.
And the more
I don't know if he's gonna do it.
Hey.
He bailed.
Okay.
Oh, did they get him? Who got who?
Oh, we had so many conversations leading into this of like, hey, we need
That
to make
vehicle
sure
died
Nate hold back
fast.
a little bit. And now I think one of our gameplay
like
folks is
that.
just like, oh, Nate, you're mine.
deleted.
Yeah.
No, going back to rewards, the better you do as an invader, the more rewards you're going to get. So each
Okay.
kill, each crest.
With the amount of revive tokens I'm seeing, this doesn't seem too bad.
Those get multiplied by your
I was a little worried, but seeing how fast
So
the vehicle died,
twice.
is just kind of
Invader
what
has
seemed to be
three
just
lives.
normal
3 lives,
gameplay.
and then you can see up at the top of the screen it says invader
like that.
present still.
This is good.
Oh, he's coming back for revenge. And it's
Okay, okay,
Shut down
okay.
with
I mean, obviously that was kind of a dumb play, but
I'm never
still,
gonna
like,
with the 3 coin wager too, or the 3 death mark wager.
He made a little bit there.
Good job.
So that's the. I'm gonna put a little elbow in the ribs. The gambit you're taking. Ha 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 ha. So, all right, we've gone through some Renegades content, rewards, all that kind of stuff. I would love to shift focus a little bit to our general rewards update. So in the portal, in a bunch.
Big deal. That is really cool. I just want to wrap up real quick my thoughts so far on what we've seen of that mode in the invasion. You know, I mentioned it seems a little concerning being Gambit with Heavy. That is still a concern. But the fact that when you defeat an invader, I believe when you fully defeat them, like, you know, get rid of all their revives or whatever, you get back a bunch of revive tokens, and it being 3v1, I'm okay. Like, I'm a little less worried than I was at first, so that's good. Let's see what they're talking about with updated rewards. I really like that mode,
activities. We're going to have some new weapons that we're offering. We also have an armor refresh for a bunch of our activities. And Bjorn, I'm going to put the spotlight on you. So starting with our Vanguard Ops sort of armor set, this is going to be earned through Solo Ops, Fire Team Ops, and our new Arena Ops activity, which is bringing back 6-player activities to our portal, which is really exciting.
Coil, yeah.
It's going to be kind of like your militaristic, hey, I'm a grunt. I'm getting in there, I'm fighting the dark forces. The weapons, Bjorndal, up front, we have a new pulse rifle. What do we got?
Yeah, it's a new arc rocket frame pulse rifle. So you have an energy slot option now to go with your mid-range grade. A lot of excellent perks on here. I know a lot of people love the arc perks on weapons, and now you'll have it on a rocket pulse.
And then we have a fusion rifle and a sidearm.
Yep.
Correct? Cool. And then we do have some weapons that we're not showing in this stream, so stay tuned for launch. But next up, we're going to have our Pinnacle Ops. So in our previous season, it was a kind of streetwear samurai, and this armor theme is
Kendo.
And then we have 2 returning weapons that I know players have been pretty excited about seeing.
That Hunter set is fire. The Warlock one's all right. I like the helmets for all of them. We don't get an amazing shot of the Titan. It looks interesting, but at least the Hunter one, that is peak. The Warlock one's all right, and I can't really see much of the Titan, honestly.
In the past, some new perk combinations, but also a new heavy crossbow.
Yeah, so this is a new
Heavy crossbow,
Void
Horrors
crossbow
Least, and
to
Duty
go, to
Bound.
kind of fill out our elements.
They're
for the
bringing back
crossbow
Duty
now,
Bound
and I think
again,
this one
and
can get
Horrors
box
Least
breathing,
again.
which is new.
Is this the
Should
4th
be
time we've seen a
pretty good
Horrors
for what
Least?
crossbows do.
Oh boy. So box breathing, aim down sight, get extra damage, and then run up to the enemy. Box breathing doesn't apply to Serrated Edge, but you pull the bolt back out and do some more damage. That'll be a fun loot. Next up, Crucible. So this armor set is actually pretty fun. Over the years, we've done thematic sets tied to weapon foundries. So in the past, you've seen Hake, you've seen Tex Mechanica, and now Suros is up to bat for the Crucible, and Shax is going to be getting these out.
Suros is one of my
We also have some
favorites
weapons up to slate.
for the aesthetics.
Fusion Rifle
The
is a
Warlock
return
set
favorite, I
is
believe.
all
Vortex
three of
coming
these are
back.
fantastic.
We have
I
a new
really like
aggressive
all of
void hand
these.
cannon and a high impact
Especially the Warlock chest piece.
And then let's see, last but not least, Trials of Osiris. So another offering for our PvP audience. A few eagle-eyed players may have seen this armor set yesterday, a little sneak preview, totally planned. But yeah, we have a new armor set for each class, and as you can see...
Whoa. Hello! Who are you? Oh my goodness. Oh, who is designing this? Oh my. Oh, am I a Trials player now? Oh my god. I'm a Trials player. That's crazy. That's crazy. It takes one frame for me to turn me into a Trials player. That's crazy. God, that Titan set is sexy. God, look at those arms. Look at those arms. And the hell? Oh no. Oh no, it's sexy. Oh, all of it's so sexy. Everywhere I look, it's hot. It's hot. I can't look at this. Oh my god. Oh my god.
Coming back
I'm
with
sorry.
the glows, so as you get more wings on your card, you can unlock gold or red or blue. And then we have some new weapons that are coming as well.
Yeah,
the weapons
like
are
this lightweight Void Pulse Rifle with your favorite model.
I admit, since the set came out on the moon, Eris, all the crufty bits on it, cleaning it up, having sorry,
That's
what
cool.
frame type did you say?
Lightweight.
Lightweight.
Lightweight,
Chef's
okay.
kiss. I cannot wait. And then I believe also we have a preview of a hand cannon. Now, one of our folks on the gameplay team over here was whispering in my
Not
ear, day by day, night by night, that these rolls are going to be a bit juiced, right?
Yes, yeah, this is a pretty juiced hand cannon. It's got perks for both PvE, PvP. It's a Strand 140. You can get stuff like Lone Wolf, Precision Instrument, or Slice Explosive Payload.
No, don't put Slice on PvP guns. I hate that shit.
Yeah, and across all of our activity types, we're trying to sprinkle out some things that players will get excited about, not just, I'm going to go into PvE to get the PvE gun. Like there are some PvP roles out there that you can get from your fire team ops. There's some PvE roles that you can get from trials. And that doesn't even cover what we have coming in the dungeon too. Before we do a little dungeon teaser, I do have a quick announcement as well as we're rolling through the list. We have an open access week that's coming on December 2nd. So for any folks out there that haven't played The Edge of Fate, that is actually going to be included in this open access week. So if your friends haven't played, if you haven't played, hop in, check out the beginning of our new saga, and earn some cool loot on the way. It's available to all players for that week, and it also includes some previous content as well, campaign and other. So let's see here.
Okay.
Dungeon. We want to talk about the dungeon. So Equilibrium. This is going to be our new dungeon. The race begins on December 13th at 10 a.m. So that's the second Saturday. We've already announced the time, but if you haven't penned it in, if you haven't gotten your fire team together, get ready for contest mode. For those that don't know what contest mode is,
I will be there.
On day one, right at launch, this is going to be a very difficult difficulty tuned for competition. So if you want to go and try to be the world's first completion, this is your place to shine. And if you win world first, we have a cool trophy or some goodies for you. So contest mode is going to be available for the first 2 days, 48 hours of the dungeon availability. You can earn a really spicy emblem and some cool stuff as you go through that. And after world first has been declared, we will also have normal mode. So if you want to give a pass on some of that harder difficulty content, you just want to dive in and see what's on offer, that'll be there for you. before we move on, we actually have a fun trailer to show. We can go ahead and roll it.
Okay.
6.
Sex?
Everything you've shown me.
Hold on. What?
6. Everything you've shown me.
All right.
Made real.
Ooh.
I've marshaled a new Imperium to snuff out the light.
Ooh, the armor I'm seeing
is yours.
The armor I'm seeing is very cool.
You know what comes
that helmet. Love that move.
Strength.
Whoa, whoa. Bust out the black lightsaber that early? All right.
Take everything I have.
I think as far as a dungeon, like, gameplay, they can't really show much, so it wasn't very interesting from a gameplay perspective, but very cool look. And I love Cabal, very biased. That looks sick. I'm super ready. And I think the aesthetic is one I'm going to enjoy a lot more than Sunder Doctrine, which it was good. It was good for its look. I am tired of the pyramid ships, so this will be cool.
Welcome back. So watching that trailer, I just realized we actually missed something with Invasions. We were talking about the Praxic blade and customization.
Mm-hmm.
There are different saber colors, correct?
Yeah, there's a wide variety of classic colors that I think players are going to have fun chasing down throughout.
I'm going to get a purple one.
And maybe even Invasion.
Awesome.
Mace Windu stand.
We showed it on the screen. Red, Invasions.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, okay, moving right along, ending out our show, we're going to be covering what is going on through the end of the year. So during the launch window, we'll have some really cool things coming around. Vanguard orders are coming in week 2. And then after that, we're going to have the Dawning returning. So this is our winter celebration, our event, inviting Guardians to hop in, play some activities, get some fun rewards, and bake cookies for their favorite vendors in our town.
Oh no! What is going on with the armor design? Oh my goodness. Bungie, you cannot be doing this to my goddamn wallet. Dude. Okay, I don't love the furry helmets, but we do need to. Furries have a lot of money, right? And so the more furries we have in our game, the better the game is doing. So it's fine, and it doesn't look awful. I think the Warlock one does, but the Titan one looks pretty sick. I'm down with that. And the rest of the armor is heat. These sets are fantastic. Like, wow. Okay, wow.
So Tom, just a really brief description for folks that may not know what the Dawning is.
Yeah, so the Dawning, you slay our enemies, you collect them as ingredients, and then you bake them into delicious treats you feed to your friends in the tower, like Zavala, and he's just got thousands of Galardoodles raining down upon him.
That is a very... Okay, wait, hold on. The helmets are growing on me a little bit
a spicy
more than I thought.
Roll.
They're actually kind of
you might
badass
maybe
looking.
Get some bright dust from some other pursuits and get this totally cool winter
Less
wolf
furry
armor.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like Drifter is outside like, ooh, you're putting enemies into the cookies? But yeah.
It's totally a Drifter thing.
Right. The Winter Wolf set, this is going to be available for Bright Dust just by playing the game, or if you want to snag it from Eververse for silver, go right on ahead. But also on top of this cosmetic, we have new weapons that are going to be a part of the Dawning.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, we have a First Linear Fusion Rifle, a Breach Range Launcher, and a Precision Sidearm.
Wait, what did he say about this?
Also with this...
Hold on.
A Breach Range Launcher and a Precision Sidearm.
He said a burst LFR, okay.
And then also with this excellent new holofoil treatment.
I like that. I like that a lot,
it's
actually.
Like covered in ice, and then as you fire, it'll slowly melt away the ice.
Oh, what?
Oh, perfect.
That's super sick.
Oh, and sorry, I have one correction being whispered in my ear. Dungeon race starts at 9 a.m. Daylight savings time strikes again.
Gets us every time.
Every time. Okay. Oof. All right. So with that Dawning preview over, we are at the end of our show. Thank you so much to everybody for joining us today. As I said earlier, it has been a monumental effort. A ton of folks throughout the team have been crafting this experience, collaborating with Lucasfilm Games, and really just making something for you, our players. And we really, really hope you enjoy it. So thank you for coming. We're going to kick it back to our launch trailer here in case you missed it at the top. And again, if you missed the Vidoc launch trailer, check out our YouTube. And after this, stick around. We're going to be handing it off to one of our community members, Leopard Stealth, a friend to us for many ages, a guardian of all time.
So let's just let's talk about it a little bit, huh? So I got a lot out of that, and you know, I had some concerns with the Gambit mode, and unfortunately we did not see the systems information that I would have liked to. So there are some upgrades that were, you know, just apparent, you know, some UI changes, and I like that they have a new way to approach the director or new activities without it being the portal. So I still don't love that they are keeping the portal, but the changes that they've made are looking nice. You know, it's looking good, and so far the portal has been less painful. Not ideal, but recently the portal has been less awful, just due to, you know, the amount of drops you're getting and the you know, the power of those drops. I am really excited for this expansion so far, at least compared to what I was. Like, I was at 0% excited. It's like, all right, whatever. You know, this was Ash and Iron really was a blow to the community, I feel. I'm definitely going to be there, you know. Therefore, launch, I'm going to be doing a solo legend campaign, as well as I will be having a contest team. I just think we need more information right now on the systems for me to be, like, really sold on it, you know? Because as of right now, it looks cool, but I still need to see the systems behind it. So we'll just have to look. I'm just gonna go and cut this video down, get it out to y'all, and I'll see you there.